Alexios, isn't this remarkable? We're so close to the gods, I can feel Apollo all around me. How did it go with Elpinor?
We can talk later in private. Who's this?
Just a simple pilgrim.
He just saw the oracle. I couldn't help but ask if she's as glorious as they say.
Well, is she?
She left me with more questions than answers.
That's the oracle for you.
You weren't lying. It really is the spear of Leonidas.
I may have mentioned you.
I would appreciate you showing a bit more secrecy.
Well, it's just he seemed interested in legends. Like you. I thought you might get along.
How did...
You know my spear just by looking at it? You're more than some simple pilgrim.
All things in Delphi are more than they appear. Even I. My name is Herodotos. I'm a storyteller. Or I was. This war is forcing us all to new extremes.
That much is true. Why are you hiding your identity?
I'm here on behalf of a man in Athens. A very powerful man. We intend to finally end this war.
You told me you came to ask the oracle a personal question.
War is personal, Barnabas.
So, you came to seek the Pythia's guidance on how to end the war?
I did. Though something is wrong in Delphi. Guards at every turn, people being turned away.
You don't seem convinced the Pythia can be believed. What did she tell you?
I asked her to show the path to the war's end. She said, spring should not wish for winter, as it brings death with it.
Such wisdom. I don't understand a word of it, but that's why she's in there and we're out here.
I know a threat when I hear one.
You were on Kefalonia for too long.
This line is ridiculous. Are there always this many people to see the Pythia?
These are more than just people. Every city sends a Fiori, or sacred ambassadors to seek guidance on behalf of their people. The Pythia not only shapes the destinies of individuals, but of the entire Greek world.
Imagine what power one would have if they controlled what came out of her mouth.
Apollo controls this.
Of course he does.
Delphi is nothing like they say. Has it always been like this?
No. This was once an open and welcoming place. But war changes things. People seek out the Pythia for more political reasons. Prophecies in times of war often stir violent emotions.
It's wise to keep your blades sheathed. Drawing blood in Delphi is considered an insult to Apollo. Punishment is severe.
I have my own questions for the Pythia, but this line... I'll be an old man by the time I see her.
You're joking! You carry more blades than a field of grass!
I didn't come here to start trouble.
Trouble? Just walk in! Who's going to stop you? The priest?
All right, but if things get out of hand, I'm blaming you, Varnavas.
Is he not every bit as great as I said?
Herodotos, you're still here. Where's Varnavas?
He's gone back to your ship. You don't look happy with your prophecy.
She knew who I was.
She's the Pythia. It's her business to act like she knows you.
That was no act. She said she had visions of me as a child on a mountain.
What child hasn't stood on a mountain?
I was thrown from that mountain. My life started and ended on that mountain. I'm telling you, she knew who I was, what I'd done. Tried to warn me.
Warn you? About what?
She mentioned the cult of Cosmos. Does this mean anything to you?
I'd heard whispers. A cult unlike any other coming to Delphi. But I paid them no mind.
The Pythia seemed afraid of them. Guards took her away.
Took her away? Then the whispers were true. If this cult has corrupted the Pythia... This is devastating news. Do you understand what this means? Through her, the cult controls the world.
I need to speak with her, when she's not so well protected.
That would require a miracle from the gods. She is always protected.
You know more about the Pythia than I do. Where would she be?
When she's not in the Temple of Apollo, she's at her home in the Hora of Delphi.
I can't go breaking down every door until I find her.
The Oracle's home is probably easy enough to spot. She'd be the only person in the Hora of Delphi who can afford to live in luxury.
Where in the Hora of Delphi does the Pythia live?
I've heard she lives on the outskirts of the village, but be warned, she will be guarded. Not everyone comes to see the Oracle with the best of intentions.
I'll find where the Pythia lives. And I will get answers.
Alexios, don't forget. Brute force is useless when finesse is required. Well, what did the Pythia tell you?
The cult of Cosmos is hunting me, but I'm going to hunt them first. She told me they meet in a secret chamber under the Temple of Apollo.
So it's all true. If the cult has done anything, it's fooled this old man.
I've killed the first cultist, Elpinor, a snake I met in Cephalonia. His mask and cloak will get me inside the chamber.
So they're underneath the Temple of Apollo? Yes, by the cave of Yea. I think I know the place.
Find it, and I'll meet you there. So this is the...
So, this is it.
Hidden chamber of the cultists. Here, all alone.
I'm going inside. Keep my clothes for me?
Best not to go in with your weapons, either. I don't think they'll look too kindly on that.
How do I look?
Terrifying.
Good.
Find me once you've found out the truth in there. Keep your wits about you. Try not to do anything rash.
Me? Rash?
You're alive.
There were people in the temple. I couldn't see their faces. Herodotos. They control all of the Greek world. Everything.
I see. It's worse than I thought.
There's more. They have a weapon.
What kind?
A soldier. Stronger and more ferocious than any I've ever seen. Herodotos. It's my sister.
We need to get to Athens.
Athens? We need to find my mother. My clothes. Spear.
Of course.
My spear!
The cult of Cosmos called my sister Limos. She used an artifact to see my memories.
Alexios, the man I serve. We must tell him what's happened before it's too late. You've heard the name Pericles before.
Pericles is the great general leading the Delian League against the Spartans. They say he's ruthless.
We aren't leading the League against anyone. Pericles is a man of peace. This war was thrust upon him. Upon us all.
A general who doesn't want war. Not likely.
Save your doubts. He is working to end this war. We all are. If there are forces colluding against him, he must be warned. We have to go.
To Athens? They're hunting my family. My mother. I have to find her.
You carry the blade of Leonidas. Act like it. If Pericles doesn't put an end to this war, we're all as good as dead. Including your mother.
Fuck your war! The cultists are exterminating my family!
You have a duty to the Greek world. We both do. Pericles must be warned.
She is my mother. What would you have me do?
If there is one place where we can find information about your mother, it is in Athens.
How?
Pericles surrounds himself with the brightest minds in Athens. Which is to say, anywhere. In Athens, you can fulfill your duty to your family. But before we can go, I need you to meet me at the Lion of Leonidas, at Thermopylae.
Leonidas? Why?
There's something I need to know. Something that may help us take down this cult and save your mother.
You've proven I can trust you. But let's make it quick, Herodotos. First Thermopylae, then we go to Athens.
I'll make sure every single one of these cultists dies by my hands.
Thermopylae. They say you can't walk this battlefield without getting blood on your toes.
If you close your eyes, you can hear them. Their final war cries, before every last one of those brave Spartans perished. Their voices were silenced that day, but their story will be sung for an eternity.
You didn't bring me here to talk about dead Spartans. What's on your mind, Herodotos?
The Battle of Thermopylae still echoes in our hearts. But to stand here is to feel it in your bones.
There's nothing here but ghosts. My concerns are with the living.
Hold out your spear.
My spear? What for?
I need to know something.
Herodotos!
I'm fine. I'm fine. The stories are true. That is the spear of Leonidas. The hero's blade.
Where were Sparta's allies?
The Spartans weren't alone in facing Xerxes and his hordes. Many from across the Greek world were armed and ready to fight alongside Leonidas and his 300. But when the mighty king looked into their eyes and saw fear, he sent them home.
That sounds like madness, not bravery.
It was foretold by the Pythia that Sparta would lose either its freedom or its king to the Persians. Leonidas made his choice.
What happened to Leonidas after the battle?
Xerxes was famous for honoring warriors who fought valiantly against the Persians. But Leonidas infuriated him so much, he cut off his head and impaled it on a pike. A bloody battle ensued, and his remains were reclaimed by the Spartans and buried here. Now, however, he rests where he belongs.
In Sparta. What happened to the traitor, Ephialtes?
King Xerxes paid him well, but treachery breeds treachery. A contract was put on his head, and he died as he lived. A coward.
You knew this would happen.
I didn't know, but I did suspect. There is a place I'd convinced myself was a dream. Until now. A peculiar structure on the island of Andros. Mysterious shapes carved in stone. Like nothing I've ever seen.
You want to sail to Andros so you can show me shapes?
In my travels, I heard whispers of an ancient civilization. A people who came before. Your spear and that place are connected.
You mentioned the people that came before. Who were they?
They were not gods, but they lived far longer than any mortal, and were far more intelligent. I've seen carvings in caves, strange symbols that suggest it was this ancient civilization that created humankind, and provided them with fire.
But Zeus blamed Prometheus.
Yes. Well, perhaps his eagle has been feasting on the wrong liver.
The spear awakened to you, Herodotos. I trust you.
You understand? I will do everything in my power to help you find your mother. I promise. But first, we must sail to the island of Andros.
I'll meet you at my ship.
Welcome aboard the Adrestia, Herodotos. Will you be traveling with us?
Only for a short trip. I have business to attend to in Athens.
Herodotos is helping me find my mother.
Seeking help from the gods has put Herodotos on your path, just like they put you on mine. They work in ways beyond our comprehension, and all we can do is follow their lead.
You could be right. Herodotos and I share enemies too.
Like El Pinor?
He was, part of a very powerful group called the Cult of Cosmos that controls the Greek world through the Oracle.
Control the Oracle? Impossible! Apollo would not allow that!
Now they're looking for my mother. I need to find her before they do.
And I believe they will hurt others who oppose their views along the way.
By Hermes! The Oracle lost to corruption, and now this cult? Do we know who leads them?
I don't know for sure, but I think it might be my sister.
Your sister? By Zeus, your life is complicated.
Tell me about it.
But don't you worry. This cult of Cosmos now has 3 new enemies. And one of them fights like Athena and shits thunder like Zeus. We'll bring the wrath of the gods down upon them.
Is he always this positive?
Always. That's why I like him.
Poseidon, carry us to Athens!
Alexios, there's a question I need to ask you.
Go on.
Your spear. How did you find it?
My mother told me that the Spartan army brought it back from the Battle of Rome.
Why bring it back to her?
Leonidas was her father.
Incredible. And it gives you visions. Perhaps it's trying to guide you. Train your path.
There's more. It helps me in battle.
What do you do?
I can't really describe it. It's like I know what my opponent's next move will be, just before it happens.
Fascinating. This is just extraordinary.
We are approaching the island of Andros, Alexios.
Yes, here we can see the tomb of the greatest Myrmidon.
Well, was the legend true? Was it magnificent? What happened to you? And your spear?
Slow down, Herodotos. My spear's stronger now. I can feel it. You were right. There was some kind of artifact there. It showed me a vision of me and my mother.
So, the ancient civilization is real. Alexios, you have no idea the power you possess. All harnessed in Leonidas' spear.
That's not everything. Demos followed me here. The cult's already moving, she told me herself. They're going after us. My family. Pericles.
Why would she tell you? Unless it was a trap.
It doesn't matter. We have to get to Athens to warn Pericles. And we need to find my mother before they do.
Then, we go to the Pnyx. If Pericles is anywhere, he's there. When you're ready, meet me at the Pnyx in Athens.
The Spartans may draw near to our walls, but we must come together now for the glory of Athens! Glory for you!
Friends, please! Just because the Spartans are near our walls does not mean we can act like them! A good crop? Shame the Spartans burned the fields where it grew! The Parthenon is glorious, Pericles, but at what cost? How many triremes could we have built instead?
We must not become divided!
We are divided, and the Spartans are winning! Act, Pericles, or I will!
Oh, good. You came. Things are worse than I feared. Cleon has turned the mob. We have to hurry.
Where?
To Pericles. Stay back! He's no threat to Pericles. I assure you.
Ah, Herodotos. It's fine. Let them through.
It's good to see you again, Pericles.
And you as well. I only wish it were under better circumstances. And who's this?
Alexios.
Welcome, Alexios. And what did you think of your first taste of Athens?
I think you and Cleon both made good points.
Good points aren't at all what the crowd seem to care about. They're afraid, and Cleon indulged their fear.
Pericles, we've come to...
We must choose our moment wisely and speak our words more privately.
Fine. We've come to you on urgent business.
As does everybody.
I may have told Alexios you'd invite him to your symposium.
You'd ask me to exclude every Athenian and invite an outsider instead. You heard the crowd. They don't need another reason to hate me.
If he's working for you, maybe the prying eyes will see him as a servant.
I'm no one's servant.
Alexios, this is Athens. If you want something, sometimes you have to play a role.
And what exactly is it that you want?
I'm looking for a woman who's very important to me. Herodotos said a symposium could be useful for gaining information.
He would be correct. I can get you in, although I can't promise the information you seek will be found.
Just tell me what to do.
First, check on my colleague, Mediochos. He was meant to meet me today, and it's not like him to miss an appointment.
Done.
My friend, Phidias, needs to be taken out of Athens as soon as possible.
Anything else?
Yes. There's an ostracism vote taking place that could use your influence.
Metiochos. You said he was your colleague?
A politician and ally. He's one of my most loyal friends.
Phidias, the famous sculptor? What did he do exactly?
He stands accused of multiple offenses and is awaiting trial. You'll find him under close guard at his workshop.
Ostracism?
Exile is a term you may be more familiar with. Here in Athens, we vote between two people to decide who should leave.
It's between the sophist Anaxagoras and another man, on trial for impiety. My contact near the Agora will give you the details.
I'll do it.
I'll expect you to use discretion.
That went well. It isn't exactly an invitation, but the promise of one is just as good. Although I'm sure he'll still ask Aspasia if it's okay.
So long as it comes.
Here, Alexios. The mighty mercenary and traveler has finally made his grand entrance. Only slightly late, too.
Herodotos. Athenians have no problem letting me know when I'm not welcome. It's a relief to see your friendly face.
Don't let the company here tonight intimidate you.
I won't.
Pericles is no king. He needs these guests to love him so that the people love him. And they, in turn, need Pericles. You're no different from any of them.
Do you really think these people will help me?
They will if you get them to trust you. And you've wisely dressed for the occasion. Appearing trustworthy is the most important part of being trusted, after all. Now then, come, let me introduce you to everyone. They may not look it, but this group holds the way to the future on the tip of their opinionated tongues. Ah, Sophocles and Euripides, for example. Two of the most celebrated playwrights to date. No one can throw stones as far as they can. They appear to be locked in some kind of intellectual struggle, as is their way.
He's a writer of comedies, of all things. Comedies, Euripides.
I've heard of Sophocles. In my line of work, it pays to know who the richest and most famous men are.
Hermippos has also written his fair share of comedies.
You should drink more.
Lately, his attitudes have garnered him more notice than his works. However, the fellow beside him, Protagoras, is a sophist worthy of as much praise as the great Socrates himself.
Inviting Socrates seems like a good way to ruin everyone's night. I'm surprised they would let him in the door.
Oh, don't let Socrates get under your skin. At least he wore shoes for the occasion. And the poor thing gesticulating like an ape is Thrasymachus. If you listen closely, you'll notice he and Socrates are actually arguing the same points. But the wind from his wild gestures deafens him to critique.
That isn't at all what I mean.
Where is Pericles?
Oh, he never attends his own parties. Which reminds me, there's something I need to get his help with.
Vile Socrates, always appearing where I least expect him. Warrior, protect me from his amorous gaze. Oh, Alcibiades, this is not a time for jealousy, but for love.
Let's not use Alcibiades as an example. Be good, and don't drink too much. So, tell me, what does a Misthios like you think of a party like this?
This is going to be a long night. Parties should be about vomiting up blood, not vomiting up poetry. These people are so clean.
If these guests aren't to your own unique tastes, then just focus on why you came here in the first place.
Thank you, Herodotos.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Pericles is here somewhere, and I need to prepare him. If he's alone, I'll tell him what your sister said.
Agreed. Pericles needs to know. I'll stay here and look for clues.
I hope they know something about your mother.
Me too. excited, Herodotos.
One of the most ancient regions of the world. The land of the Minoans. A true civilization. Geniuses ahead of them.
Should I visit that?
Only ruins remain of their civilization.
Welcome to the Olympic Games! The party has officially begun!
Alcibiades, I'm surprised you're wearing clothes.
The day is young, little goat.
Are you here to compete, Alcibiades?
Of course. I enjoy other physical exertions from time to time.
Sure. Who do you think will win the most race this year?
I will!
Athens will surely rise to the occasion.
I say Messinia!
Has the sea air addled your mind? Sparta always takes Pancration, and many others too.
You might know a lot about the past, but you know little about the future.
Let's get going.
I needs to be oiled before I goes to the games.
Well, I would have been happy to assist if you were in any state to compete.
I likes to be oiled.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah. You knows. Come here. Gives us a hug.
Surely he can swim.
Well, it looks like you're the champion now.
I can't believe he's gone.
Unprecedented.
And you want me to compete in the Olympics? Stepping into a dead man's sandals. And Testicles isn't even digested yet.
Oh, come, dear Lexi. Show them what you're made of. And show me while you're at it.
I need that wreath for Sparta. If it means I have to compete, so be it.
The event doesn't start just yet. We could look around first. Olympia at Truce is quite extraordinary.
What's so special about the play? Will your famous orange ape impression be making an appearance?
Ha! Funnily enough, that was the inspiration.
Isn't it a risk to show him in a bad light in front of his admirers?
I think the play will change their minds. Good art is risky, but my plan will work.
We can't just sit around. Cleon is sending a boat to Mytilene to kill the people there.
The people trust Cleon. They'll vote for whatever action he puts forth.
But that does not mean we plan to do nothing.
Taking down Cleon won't be easy.
But with your help, it will be possible. It's all coming together. I think we have a real chance.
Look, Alexios. Isn't it a beautiful night?
On the hotter nights in Kefalonia, I used to lay down on the roof and fall asleep under the stars.
I always thought of them as something the gods created to guide us. Clues to find our way. No?
It doesn't matter.
Ah, come on. Tell me.
Well, me, they are hundreds of small suns, very far away.
Now that is a story.
I told you it didn't matter.
You may be surprised to know that many share your theory, Alexei.
I guess we'll never know. What are you two doing here?
You know us. Always on your tail. Old Herodotos couldn't wait to see you.
I told you, Varnavas. Sira is said to hold a secret. A secret no one can fathom.
Yes, but a lost world?
It's perfectly possible. Atlantis may exist.
Sounds like Hui to me, but he's insistent about it.
Herodotos is right. Atlantis exists.
Incredible.
It's true. I can't believe it. Tell me everything.
My mother sent me here to meet my real father. You know Pythagoras? It's him.
Your father was living in a volcano?
Pythagoras? That's unthinkable. It would make him immortal.
He had a staff that belonged to the ancient civilization.
It kept him alive all this time. Makes perfect sense.
Well, where is he? Invite him along. He's your father, after all.
He was a stubborn man. He wanted to keep all of the knowledge of Atlantis to himself.
Stubborn. I suppose that trait runs in the family.
He means he's sorry for your loss.
It's all right. But none of this can ever pass your lips. This stays between us.
You have my word.
But the world needs to know. We could tell the most amazing tale of our time.
Herodotos.
Oh, fine.
Then it's settled. Let's move forward.
Like always.
We've learned a lot, haven't we? You know it all.
Speak for yourself. I'm on the hunt for truth. Gods know not all your myths are accurate.
They come from the gods themselves, who are the most reliable sources we have.
You've both been a great help to me. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong.
And you would know, as the eagle-bearing demigod you are.
Perhaps he too is immortal.
Sure I am.
I do know one thing for certain. This has been an Odyssey I won't forget.
So, what next?
We could go hunting. We won't hunt bears, Herodotos. We'll hunt liars, traitors, you know, the usual big game.
Ah, the worst kind of beasts. Where should we head?
You could spin the wheel in any direction and you'll find the cultist. The scum's everywhere.
Then we have nothing to lose.
Nothing but time! Let's track them down!
Ready for docking.
There's much to do, and many unknowns on our horizon.